All right, we are live. It's the Spinnin Backfist MMA show, St. Patrick's Day edition, March 16th, UFC Vegas 88 edition. And unfortunately, our guy Bam Bam Tai Tuivasa just took his fourth loss in a row in the main event. Wasn't the most eventful card otherwise. We got one knockout TKO on the whole card. It's the second fight of the card. It was a leg kick knockout. So it was a lot of submissions. It was a lot of decisions. Not the worst fights in the world. We've said it once, I'll say it again. We would rather these fights than no fights. Not complaining about it in that sense. But yeah, just might be it might be a shorter show tonight because what is there to talk about?
Yeah, outside of, I mean, there is some news out there which we'll touch on.
Yeah.
But my number one takeaway tonight was the Dolgarian decision. That's probably because I will say it was a great fight's probably the wrong terminology. It was a good fight. It was an interesting fight. I felt that Dolgarian won. If at worst, I thought it was a draw. But even a draw, it would have been hard to do the math now that I'm thinking about it. Giving the second round to Christian Rodriguez was really tough. I don't really know how you give it to him. I understand the 10-8 in the fifth round, but third round. If you give it 10-8 in the third round, you have to give it in the first round. But everyone gave it 10-8 in the first round, right?
Yeah, that's why I was so confused, because it was all the second round. Two guys gave C-Rod the second round, which is insane. Absolutely insane. And I mean, he did great in the third round. I mean, Dolgarian looked like a champion in round one. He looked like a world.
He looked unbelievable. Yeah.
I bet on him, and I was shocked how
out of this world grappler.
He was dominant. I mean,
yeah,
the way he just, like, even when you get in a bad position, you reverse and just had him flattened out. I mean, he looked phenomenal, but he came out third. I had nothing, but judges, I just couldn't believe it. I thought there was no possible way that they could give C-Rod the decision, but that was brutal, really brutal.
Yeah,
and
Lee,
then the big question, Lee, what'd you think?
Yeah, I had Dolgarian 28-27. It just depends how you score round two. Apparently, like, a couple people went back and watched it immediately, and just their opinion was that Dolgarian just didn't do enough damage. But honestly, it's more like it's a weird scenario because the culmination of round one and then how that goes directly into round two, and you score the round separately. But honestly, it just felt like Dolgarian was just doing the same thing that he was doing at a lesser level. I still would have scored it Dolgarian 28-27. I think he looks like a monster in round one, and I'm glad I didn't bet the fight because I would have been losing my mind at that.
The big question of the night I've seen all over Twitter, kind of how I, sold this live stream, is Tai Tuivasa washed. He's 0-4 in his last four against pretty good opponents. He's had moments in pretty much all of those fights as well, but 0-4 is a bad losing streak for any fighter, anytime. Is he washed? I say no. I say there's still a ton of UFC heavyweights that he dismantles very quickly.
Yeah, and heavyweight, I mean, as long as the only thing is, it's my bigger question for Tai is how committed is he to this? I mean, a month ago, or no, even 2 to 3 weeks ago, he was at a WWE event drinking. I mean, I know we don't want to get into, and it may have been water, and that's true. Who knows? And he's a heavyweight, but is he still as committed? And on top of it, we look at his career not too long ago, a year and a half ago, he had Cyril Gane on his ass. He put him on his ass. He was about to get a title shot. And
Gane said he was knocked out. He was like, I was out. Yeah.
And now we're here, and you feel for the guy. I feel like he's so far away from being cut by the UFC.
Oh, he won't get cut. No.
But I will say, I think them putting him on this card, I mean, they did make him a main event, but them not putting him in front of a crowd is weird. Do they not value him? Or maybe they value him in a way so much that they're like, hey, we're going to give you this main event spot. Because obviously Tybura is not going to really sell you watching a card.
I mean, he was supposed to be on that, the 298 card. He was supposed to be on it.
True, yeah, that was like an unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's clear his commitment isn't the same. I mean, as absolute peak, I don't think he's ever going to win a belt, but I honestly think we kind of saw his peak, that he could knock out a Derek Lewis. He could have like highlight reel knockouts against some of these guys that maybe aren't great, but still, like Sakai had some good wins, even though it's not in the UFC. And then he could go turn the Gon fight into a brawl. But yeah, I mean, listen, he lost to Pavlovich, Volkov, Tybura now. I mean, obviously Gon. So I mean, I agree with he still could absolutely. There's a bar of heavyweight that I think he goes in there and absolutely flatlines. Tybura, it was one of those where, I mean, Tybura was in trouble. Just the second he got him on his back, it was over.
Yeah, it was gushing blood, a couple seconds into the fight, it felt like.
Yeah,
landed huge elbows, good shots.
To me, it felt a little bit like, this is pure speculation on my end. Part of me felt like he said it was clear he had the knee injury. They only moved this fight back like a month. I don't know if maybe these guys get where he I'm sure they pay him very well, but he might have kind of needed the money, just wanted the money, and decided to take the fight basically instead of waiting a little longer, and maybe recovering from the knee full, having a real good camp. But no, he definitely. I mean, I feel like he could lose 3 in a row, and he still would be safe.
Yeah, like a Tony Ferguson type losing streak they'll give him.
Yeah, he could keep. Yeah, absolutely.
They said that he changed camps too. He went back to his old camp. So obviously leading up, during his run, he was in Abu Dhabi training with his coaches out there, and obviously that's way more than what it is. So maybe he's just trying to scale it down. And obviously leading up to the fight and the pre-shows that they were talking about Tuivasa's different businesses and what he's running and that potential next step.
Yeah. It's a weird time. It's a weird time for him. What would you do next with him? Who would you give him?
I'll give Magic a shout out. Who I thought he said Tafa. What a little Aussie on Aussie crime. I mean, because I was thinking in my head, I was like Rosenstrike, but then I was like, oh, do you want to? I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know. He's in a very weird spot because it's do you want to almost throw him somebody he's going to knock out to kind of get him back on track, or? I mean, What do you He's a grappler. It's just not going to go well, probably, especially if he's in this kind of shape.
Yeah. The co-main event was Battle and Losa. Looked like Battle was dominating the whole first round. He was picking him apart on the feet, doing really well. A minute into the second round, his thumb went into the eye of Losa. It was a pretty bad eye poke. It was on a separation type thing. I think he was trying to grab a tie clinch. The fight gets called. They give him a minute, 2 minutes. He says to the doctor, I can't see. Obviously, the second you say that, fight's over. Then they got into it after the no contest was read. Battle got right in his face and was like, you're a fucking pussy. You were looking for a way out. Losa went into I kill you, I fucking kill you mode. I blogged it. I said, on a night where you don't get many knockouts, many big highlight reel finishes, it was pretty exciting. And I don't know if I had necessarily agreed with Battle for immediately being you're a pussy, you were looking for a way out. But then when he gave his post-fight interview, he was so charismatic and electric in saying where was that energy 2 seconds ago when they asked you if you wanted to fight me then? That I was like, fuck it. He turned me. I'm on Battle's side.
I think Battle, I come away more of a fan of his. I know he really is Big Ev's guy, but he performed very well tonight. As somebody that was on a round 2, round 3 Battle, it felt like that was on its way to being very much alive. Stinks. Especially for these guys, I get it. It's so frustrating for a Battle who, I mean, somebody tweeted out what he looked like, I think 2 or 3 years ago versus now. I mean, he's complete. All this guy does is train. He's in the best shape of his life, and it all comes to this one moment, and then it gets ripped away from you because of a thumb poke that you deemed as something that shouldn't have stopped the fight. To be honest, maybe the UFC will run this back. I don't think they should. I think they should give battles like somebody else a little bit higher up.
Agreed.
Because like Lusa was the fight, he wasn't going to win that fight. I mean, obviously,
It's almost like Edwards and Bilal in a a different but similar. Like we knew where that fight was going. The original Edwards and Bilal.
Yeah, and from the perspective of the post fight, he's awesome. He
was great. It was a great post fight interview.
I've been saying he's a dog.
Yeah.
He's a dog. He was going to win the fight easily. I think he was going to finish. And I understand why he's mad. He was going to win. Like he just lost a lot of money from that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what his win show is, but I guarantee it's significant. And whatever it is, I guarantee it's significant to him. So I mean, regardless, I can totally understand why he's mad. I mean, I just don't get why you stopped the fight. It was his eyes were wide open. I mean, it was a minute.
As soon as he says I can't see, though, they have to stop it.
No, that's what I'm saying. He quit.
Oh yeah.
He quit. He could see just fine. He knew where the fight was going. He wanted out.
What if he couldn't though? What if he had a scratched cornea? What if Brian Battle had thumbnail as too long? I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm on Battle's side, but
I was almost going to say
I don't know if you could see.
I was just something very disrespectful. Just Battle was going to smoke him, and I feel like I was robbed as well as him.
Yeah. Yep, we were robbed. No. It's not feel like we were robbed, Ev. There's no other way to say it.
He could see.
They were both in it.
The French have been retired over the past 2 weeks by a splinter in their big toe and then a thumb in the eye. I mean, it's just, come on. French MMA, awful run. And Benoit Sai, who, did you see his wife's post about
no.
Benoit? It was quite sad. It was and I get it. This is not even something to make fun of, but he's depressed. They said a lot of sleeping. He's just he doesn't go outside.
He's Clemming.
Yeah, he's Clemming. Also, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's still on antibiotics too. His body's probably just shut down. Yeah, and then Poirier said, posted a video, I think a fan had it, and said, "Got to stay hydrated."
It was good.
That's good. You got to give that to Poirier.
But I was before we get on the next fight, I will say we will not rest until Brian Battle gets top 15. We won't rest. We won't sleep.
He should get one off this performance. 15, I think
top 15 or they're getting smoked. If you want to throw some can at him, go ahead. We'll collect a paycheck. This man deserves top 15. He's a stud.
Brian Battle, this is your new manager right here. You're Paul Heyman.
Who would you? Who
new contract? We want a new contract too.
Who's right on the fringe 15 there? That doesn't have a fight actively booked right now, or maybe a fight booked that's very close to happening.
Who do I want? Who am I calling out for my guy? We want.
It's like Khabib calling out Volk for Islam.
I mean, this guy's not.
We want Michael Chiesa. We want Michael Chiesa.
That's what I was going to say.
Great fight.
That's what I was going to say.
Michael Chiesa, easy dub. Battle submission round 2, maybe round 1. Actually.
I like Chiesa. I like Chiesa, but that's a good fight.
What about Dalby? Nick Dalby.
I like that.
That would be.
That's a good. I respect Dalby. I respect.
That'd be
a
good banger of a fight.
I like that.
That
we want top 15 though, Lee. We'll take it, but we won't like it. We'll be mad about it, but we'll take it and we'll take it out on Nicholas Dalby.
Good, impressive performance from OSP tonight. I think shocked a lot of people, myself included. I thought he was going to get knocked out in probably the first round or submitted in the first round, and that didn't happen. Fought his way through the whole fight. Third round was a slugfest. It was awesome, and he got the win.
Cut. Kennedy and Check will cut him.
I got him.
That was embarrassing. I'm sorry. OSP went in there for his show money. I would have. You can't score it this way.
You would have beat him?
No. I was going to say.
I thought you were going to beat him.
I would have, if I was the judge, I would have given all 3 rounds to OSP. Like, you're minus 700 and that's how you look. Like, it's just, I know you can't factor that in and it's against the rules, but I would. I'd be like, no, this is a fucking joke. You just ruined a lot of people's parlays out there that bet you inside the distance. You didn't even try. Okay. You didn't even try. And you should be ashamed.
It was shockingly bad. I mean, he looked slow too, really slow.
Oh yeah.
Slow, like timid all around. I mean, OSP got to the point where he was like, oh, like he's just not gonna throw. I'll just get in the pocket. Fuck it. And he got in the pocket and he won significantly. And he ate shots too. Like OSP ate some shots in there and was just like moving forward, pop, pop, pop.
He was bobbing and weaving.
Yeah,
I texted. I was like, "What the fuck?
better,
He's
like,
turning it to
Brandon
Anderson
Peter.
Silva."
He
It was crazy.
No, that was 100% the right decision. 100%. He won that fight.
It was bad stuff from Kennedy.
Kennedy's
bad
like
stuff.
shockingly. Oh, my fault.
No, you're
No,
good.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Kennedy, for being the longest 205er, I think, may ever besides John Jones, not wanting to ever use his jab and his long range weapons is infuriating. He wants to pocket brawl, and he's 6'7". It's unbelievable. It's like you're a center. It's like Bul's shooting threes. It's like that's not your game. It's crazy.
A lot of tall fighters don't work a jab. Like Stefan Struve was like famous for like, dude, you are 7 feet tall and you don't even have a jab in your arsenal. Like, what happened? What happened in your training where that got left out? It's weird. What else is worth talking about on this card? The GM3 submission over Brian Barberena. Brian Barberena just being Brian Barberena, being a savage, being like, I'll go out. I'm not tapping.
I'm sorry. And I understand it's.
You want him cut too?
No.
Oh.
Tapology being down for maintenance right now is unacceptable.
Oh no, down for maintenance right after a card.
Right after a fight, like this is what I want to look at things.
Yeah.
This is I hate going to Shirt Dog, but I'm just good. Like it's never mind. It's working for me again.
All right, good. I don't mean to throw shots at Shirt Dog, but every time I open it, it feels like they're hitting my computer with like 90 viruses. The amount of ads on that website, it's outrageous.
Mike Davis is we won't see him fight again until 2025, but like he's awesome. He rocks.
He
is awesome. Yeah, that was quick.
He should get a big fight. He could maybe get top or at least fringe, like maybe close to top 15. I could see him getting. Top 15 is tough lightweight. I bet he gets close. I mean, one away probably. One away
maybe one away. Yeah.
I don't know about that one. I think he's the goods, right? Like I think we all saw tonight like he is a very complete, well-rounded, good fighter. But if we're looking at his wins, like he lost to Gilbert on short notice in his UFC debut, and that was in April 2019. And since then, he's fought 4 times in 4 years to Thomas Gifford, to Mason Jones, to Slava Claus, and to Natan Levy.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Like, if you like, listen, and his post speech was like, I kind of want to fight at times. I'm not like 100%. Like, he's not trying to win a title. I don't think. Yeah, even if he does have the goods.
Did you hear what he says he wants to do?
What does he want to do?
He says he's open about this. He says he just wants to be a streamer. He doesn't want to he was like
did he shout out his kick afterwards? He's like, it'd be great if you followed me at kick. Yeah,
he does. He said he fights for the money. That's it.
Yeah.
Like he just fights
for the
freedom
money. The freedom that it allows him for his lifestyle.
Yes, and that if it was up to him, what he would really want to do would like just make content and stream. Like, I mean,
Imagine that being the biggest burden in your life. Like, I'm just too good at kicking ass, man.
that's
Can't
literally
stop.
that's so funny the way you just put it. He just is just too good at fighting. He's just too good. It's like I got it's almost like it's a gift and a curse. It's like I just got to go fight once a year. That's just what I have to do.
We lost Lee, but he's still here. I think his audio is still here. Lee, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there he is. He was just the voice of God for a second.
Had to go throw something in the fridge.
What else on this card? Chelsea Chandler, she was a good bet, right? Everyone was on Chelsea Chandler.
I was on
Chelsea
Chandler.
But her not finishing the fight is crazy.
Yeah,
insane.
Were you guys not? Were you guys just on like finished round 2, 3?
No, I bet her straight. But
yeah, me too.
There's something about her that just like I don't know. She seems like I don't want to. There's something missing. She's so big. Like she's so much bigger than obviously. I mean, Nunez tonight she's going to be smaller than almost anybody in this division. But like,
yeah,
he was next to her. It looked like they were different weight classes, and she didn't really. Even when she was on top, it felt like you should be just raining down, and she just wasn't.
Dude, I felt that way about Brian Battle's fight. I felt like I know he's tall for his weight class and everything, but he looked like he was in a different division. He was huge.
Yeah, and Chelsea Chandler, like, she's from Compton too, you gotta. I need to see a finish from her. I really do. But I will say,
withhold the Compton rep.
Nunez hits hard, and she took some shots tonight. But I mean, that's Chelsea Chandler for you.
I'll give. I think Philo might just be pretty good.
Yeah,
that was a good performance.
He might just be like a top 15 guy. I don't know how good, but in flyweight, I think top 15 is. Yeah, I think he's had all good performances. I mean, he had Makayev on the ropes. I mean, he's made light work of like his next 2 fights, 3 fights.
Yeah.
He's had both, I think, first round submissions. I mean, because Ode Osborne's not bad. I mean,
no, we talked about that on the preview show. He's pretty good.
To just finish him in round 1 is definitely respectable. So I think he might be.
You said give him Makayev, right?
I'd love to see the rematch.
Do the rematch.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they're not going to do that. I think they have bigger plans for Makayev, even though I'm sure we'll get to the flyweight fight announcement. But yeah, yep. I mean they knew damn well you don't make Makayev after that Perez performance. Pantoja would have ate him alive.
Filo versus Schnell next. Make that.
I like that.
That's good.
I'd be good with that.
I like that. I mean, that's a good jump to the fight we're talking about. Because Steve Erceg went from fighting Matt Schnell to now fighting Pantoja. Is it 301?
Yep.
UFC 301 in Brazil. Pantoja will defend the title against Erceg. Huge step up in competition for Erceg. Good for him, for sure. But I worry about his chances in that fight. Pantoja's a beast. Erceg, though, you never know. He's on this crazy good run. Crazier things have happened.
3-0 in the UFC title fight.
Yeah.
two good wins though. 2 good wins. 2 ranked guys. I mean, right. He's kind of in the right place, right time.
Totally.
Division's in a super weird place. I mean, Manel Cap. I mean that he doesn't make weight. That fight gets canceled. With Nicolau. I mean, Rival just got 50-45. He's the most deserving, but you're not going to make that fight right away again. I think they should do Rival Makayev.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
I think if they want to do something I think that's the fight to make, and then the winner of that gets the next title shot. But I like it. They're saying it. I think Erceg. It's one of those. I'm curious. I'm sure Pantoja is going to be a big favorite. I feel like it's one of those fights where Erceg does better than people think, but I think Pantoja wins.
Yeah.
But it's just such a huge jump in competition. Going from Matt Schnell to Pantoja is a crazy, crazy jump.
I want to make it known now. I think I will be betting Erceg in that fight.
Really? Ooh. Wow.
Well,
I
the line's
really-
already out.
What is it?
What's the line?
Pantoja, at least as of yesterday, because I haven't checked it today, but Pantoja yesterday was minus 258, Urseg plus 210.
All right, I like that.
Personally, I'd want a little bit more on Ursig, but
It's still there, by the way, Lee. I just checked. It's still plus. So I mean, if it hasn't moved at all, I know. Like, I mean, people will manipulate lines and whatnot, and the limits are pretty low right now. But it being the same, probably a good indication of where it may end up.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Lee? Though, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, I was just gonna say I'd probably want a little bit more on Schnell, or not Schnell, Ursig, especially due to like we haven't really seen him against like a pure grappler, right? Like, it's just a giant step up. Plus, you're going to fight him in his homeland. Like, there are just other factors, right? Besides just the fight itself. My question would be for the flyweight division: who is going to get a title fight after this fight? Would you rather put the Royval Moikaev winner next, or has Cape done enough yet? If he beats Nicolau, does he get that next shot?
See, Royval just fought twice in such a short period of time. Like he just did 5 rounds literally twice in like a 2-3 month span, basically.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could see him needing some time off. I think if Cap got like a big knockout, he could be next. But
I think it's almost who has the best performance.
Yeah, I
You
think
have
if
to
Cap
almost
got, like,
wait
a big,
for-
he's in a main event at the end of April versus Nicolau. So if he got like a big finish there, I think he'd get it. It almost feels like they've been like trying to give it to him, and he just like won't take it. But I mean, if they make, I hope they make Royval Makayev. I mean, Kaikov France is still chilling there. Albazi, I don't know when either of them are back, but those two guys are like firmly, I think, in the mix at some point.
True.
Where's Kai? Where's Kai in all of this?
He had a concussion, didn't he? That's why he, because he was supposed to fight Cap. That was the whole obviously all that thing happened.
And then Albazi with
that's...
his neck.
Yeah, and Kai got robbed against Albazi, so that made it. That's why everything's all weird in the first place.
Yeah, you're right.
And then
we completely forget about Albazi. That's obviously because of the injury right before he was supposed to fight Moreno. That would have been an interesting fight. Albazi, yeah, but you are right. Just to back up what Ev said, that this division's in such a weird spot. It's. I mean, Steven Urseg is about to fight for the title. Nothing against Astro Boy. I like him, but
he's got one of those all-time, like his fighter profile picture looks like one of those, like, wait, this guy's in the UFC. Like, no disrespect, but he just looks like he could be like a CPA.
I mean, he looks like a dude that sat next to you in like geometry class.
Yeah.
Somebody said he looks like a Disney character or something, like a sad Disney character.
I could see that, yeah. And then the other fight that got announced for 301, the return of the legend Jose Aldo taking on Jonathan Martinez. For a long time, there were whispers of Jose Aldo versus Dominic Cruz. We had heard this. Aaron Bronstetter tweeted he had heard this. So I assume that was a fight that was trying to be put together at some point. But we got Jonathan Martinez, and it's good matchmaking. Ev, I think you tweeted you like the matchmaking, right?
Yeah, and I put it in the group chat. I like the matchmaking a lot. I mean, they have a lot of things they do. I mean, I think they both big leg kick guys. I mean, Martinez had like a few now. Obviously, the Giannis performance was incredible. I thought he looked really, really good in that fight. He's looked good in a few. I mean, he's looked really good his last few fights. I think obviously the big question mark is going to be like, what does Aldo look like after the layoff? Obviously, he's a lot older. It's crazy just get inducted into the Hall of Fame and then come back. Pretty awesome. But I mean, also, I think it's going to be great too, because if they don't find, obviously, Pereira Hill was supposed to be the main event of this card. I think Aldo kind of secures it. Like if Pantoja is the main event, Aldo is the co-main. You can kind of you can sell that. I'm sure that's a big part of it as well. I bet they paid him quite a bit, but I'm sure they'd like to find another main event if they could.
I'm sorry for laughing in the middle of that. Hot Billy just joined the chat. hit us with a yo-yo, and then said, actually missed the card because I had to take Shorty to Applebee's for getting her yellow belt in karate.
I mean, chivalry's not dead with one hot Billy.
Congrats to Shorty
Yeah,
on the
wait,
yellow belt.
yellow belt.
Wait, is Shorty? Could that be his daughter?
No, that's wifey.
It could. It's probably wifey,
No,
but
that's
like
wifey. That's Bay.
you think, like you hear yellow belt in karate, you definitely think like a child.
But hey, it's shout out to all our.
But
if
it's real
anyone-
karate. Not that kids karate isn't real karate, but it kind of isn't. No, you said no wifey, Mrs. Billy. It's
Yeah,
Mrs.
Miss
Billy.
Billy. Mrs. Billy.
Tonight, I was at the UConn Big East tournament game, and a Spinning Backfist fan came up to me. So shout out to him. I forget his name. I don't even think he told me his name. But if he's listening, shout out to you. He said that he's like set up a man cave in California where he lives, and he likes watching us after the card. So
I thought you were gonna say he's like a bigger Hot Billy fan than he is a Spinnin' Backfist fan.
that would be maybe that was Hot Billy. You never know. He also said to me, I love how you guys just like you do a podcast for stupid fans like me. I was like, oh, are you calling us stupid? And he was like, no. I was like, don't worry.
I love how
bro.
you
Like,
do the low intelligence shit. Yeah, it's great.
That's what he said. That's literally what he said. And I was just like, and he was like, oh, fuck, I didn't mean it like that. I was like, don't worry, bro. Like, it's cool. But he was, if he's listening, shout out to you. He's wearing like a sick Nebraska crew neck.
There you go. There's the card and the news. Is there any other news that broke since the last show worth talking about? I don't really think so.
No. Next week's card is a doozy.
Yeah, we got a Rose Namajunas main event.
Yeah,
and we were
Amanda
supposed to have Chris Barnett against Muhammad Usman, but it got canceled. Pain.
Mm.
All right. Thank you
one
for
thing.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
John Jones, Tom Aspinall met up.
Oh
Yeah, they had a little face off. That's right. Yeah. What'd you make of that?
Jones looking old. Looking old, brother. I don't think I think Aspinall shook that hand firm, and Jones said, "It's a big boy.
And then
it's a big strapping young lad."
He tapped his shoulder, and then and John was like, "Nah, get your hands off of me."
Yeah, he tried to big bro him.
Hot Billy said, Robbie, Roadhouse premiere, when is that? That is so the movie premieres next Friday, March 21st, I think it is. Yeah, it'll be Thursday, March 21st on Amazon Prime. The premiere I'm going to in New York is Tuesday. So I think we'll probably do a show maybe Wednesday if that works for everybody, so we can talk about it on the show. Hopefully we get something with them.
Also, just before we sound off, have you guys seen the video of him at the premiere?
Yeah, he was nervous for his first premiere, bro. He was like, he was just anxious.
I mean,
his first movie premiere jitters.
He did all of the cocaine.
No, no,
that was crazy.
That would be unlike him. I think he was feeling the anxiety.
We were talking about it. He's like feeling for his face. He can't find it.
I know. Even Big Cat texted me about it. Like, Big Cat was like, "What's up with your boy?" I was like, "He's nervous. It's his first red carpet."
Unreal.
All right. That was the Spinnin' Backfist show. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Have a good night. If you're partying with New Amsterdam, especially shout out New Amsterdam.
Yep, shout out New Amsterdam.